Hello and welcome to this special webinar for IT Service Week 2016. IT Service Week is all about celebrating the service desk, and part of this is by creating a great workplace. We are joined today by Kevin Rogers, the CEO of Paycare. Kevin is here today with an inspiring presentation about creating a great workplace makes a good business sense. Hi Kevin, how are you today?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Yeah, good.
So Kevin, you've got a reputation of creating a great place to work. Would you mind telling us how you've achieved this?
Of course, not a problem. Hi everybody. I'm Kevin Rogers. I'm the Chief Exec of an organisation called Paycare. Probably not heard of us. So I'll give you a little bit of background about who we are and what we do. We're a health cash plan provider. We're based in Wolverhampton in the West Midlands. We've been here since 1874, so we're quite a well-established business. When I was first asked to do this presentation, I'm thinking, is this the right audience for a service desk presentation? And I got to thinking, and we have 40,000 policyholders that we deal with. So we have calls coming into us all the time. So in effect, we are a service desk. We're quite a busy service desk. We process 85,000 claims each year to our 40,000 policyholders. And over 90% of those are paid within 48 hours. So we're pretty good at what we do. Like most businesses, we have the challenges, the ongoing challenges, how to achieve absolutely operational excellence, how to continue to deliver extraordinary customer service, not outstanding customer service, but extraordinary. That you're giving the people that you're dealing with that real wow factor. More importantly going forward is how do we really get our people within the business really engaged in the business. So today I'd just like to talk to you about some of my thoughts, some of which you might think are absolutely off the wall and that can't possibly be implemented into your workplace. So hopefully I can give you something to think about, and then really just say why you should be doing this kind of thing. So on with the presentation. If I could just ask you just to indulge me, just like to close your eyes. Imagine a workplace where people are energized and motivated by being in control of the work they do. Just imagine that. Just imagine people in your workplace being absolutely motivated, being really motivated. Imagine they're trusted and given freedom within clear guidelines to decide how to achieve their results. How trusted are your employees? I mean, really, really trusted. And if you don't trust your people, why don't you trust them? Do you not trust them, or do you not trust yourself? So imagine if you really trusted them and gave them freedom. Imagine they're able to get that real life balance that they want. There's work outside, there's life outside, and you have to get that balance absolutely spot on. You want your people in the business fresh, ready to go. If they're having to work 12-hour shifts, how fresh are they when they come into the business the next day? Here at Paycare, I literally have to kick people out because I don't want them here. They've got a life outside, they've got a family outside, and although I really like them being here, I want them to enjoy their life outside as well. Imagine they are valued according to the work they do, rather than the number of hours they spend at the desk. They might be present at work. How effective are they? That's a really important question to ask. And then wouldn't you want to work there? Wouldn't it also be the place that would enable you to work at the best and your most productive? Those aren't my words. A guy called Henry Stewart, he's the Chief Executive Officer of a company called Happy People. But I couldn't come up with something as original as that. I can just learn from somebody like Henry, and then see how can I implement them into my business. Before I go on, I've got a confession. I'm a huge Homer Simpson fan. Probably like donuts more than the actual cartoon, but I like Homer. But no, the real confession is I'm an accountant. Looking at that picture there, I probably haven't grown actually in stature more than that, probably grown outwards, but I'm an accountant. I'm also a magpie. I don't think I have an original thought in my body. When I was talking to some of the guys here at Paycare, they said that's not true. They said you're doing original things all the time. I said, these are not my ideas. These are the ideas that I've just read about, learned about. And they said, no, but you're original because you're actually putting them into action, being brave to put them into action. So as we go through this presentation, none of this is my original thoughts. These are things I've learned about. I'm going to ask you a question now, and it should be one of the probably most obvious, easiest things to answer. What is an organisation's most important asset? It's people, of course. Everybody knows that. It's our people. But how about a photocopier? It's a photocopier our most important asset. Or is it our people? Just think about that. It must be our people, mustn't it? Because here we're writing about it all the time. We have all these long sentences and vision statements and investors in people. And we get people in to assess how valuable our people are to us. Even investors and people now, we have gold, silver, bronze awards. So we must be doing it right, mustn't we? In our vision statement, we say, we believe people are our most important asset. We've even put human capital has a value. People are our most valuable assets. And to prove it, we must demonstrate by management practices and actions that compose the human capital architecture. Wow, that's strong stuff, isn't it? So people must be our most valuable asset. My background is not in financial services as I work in now. It's actually in manufacturing. So let's sit down and I just want to tell you a tale of the 100-ton press. I don't think it's something the Grimm brothers ever thought about, but it's my kind of fairy story tale. Top left-hand corner is that's what a factory looks like these days. It's so clean and spotless, and we take great care of it. You could almost eat your lunch off the floor. And we treat our factories and we treat our machinery because it makes us money. And the 100-ton press is that great big green thing there in the corner. We actually had 10 of these 100-ton presses. And the factory in which I was based, and I was the financial controller in this factory, you could hear the presses operating. And the saying in the factory was that as long as those presses were you could hear them, that money was continuing to grow and to grow and to grow. So we couldn't ever afford to have those presses not operating. And when you heard the sound drop, everybody kind of just looked up from their desk and said, oh my God, the presses have stopped. What's happening? What can we do? We never wanted to get to that position, so we put this maintenance schedule in place. Preventative maintenance, ongoing preventative maintenance all the time to ensure that that press never stopped working, because it cost us money the minute that press stopped working. But who's this guy? He's the guy that keeps the press operating. highly qualified. What maintenance did we put in place for the guy that kept the press operating? Because after all, people are our most important asset. So what did we put in place to ensure that the press operator, the tool maintenance operator, didn't stop working? So I don't actually believe it when people say people are our most invaluable asset. Because certainly in the manufacturing area, I didn't see evidence of that. The photocopier even had a maintenance plan in place because, God forbid, the photocopier didn't work. So I just want to share a few in my role as a magpie, a few sparkly gems that I've come across that I think if you adopted just a few of these in your workplace, that then you could really start to say people are our most invaluable asset. It's the right thing to do. So the first one is trust your people. I touched on it before, but I mean really, really trust your people. Slide there shows a surgeon. You think the surgeon trusts every member of his team in the operating theatre? Of course he does. He trusts the anaesthetist to get the dosage right. He trusts that all the implements are there. He trusts every member of that team in the operating theatre. He can't afford not to trust them. And again, I ask the question, do you have that level of trust with your people? So just step out of the approval. Instead, pre-approve things and focus on supporting your people to do the right things. They know what to do. You don't need to micromanage them, but just trust them. And if you did, what would your organisation look like? How much time do you spend as a manager, as a leader, not trusting people? And how much more productive time could you have if you did that? And more importantly as well, how valued would your people be if they saw that you really, really trusted them? Make your people feel good. These are just, on this slide, some of the kind of things that we do here at Paycare. I say to my senior management team, this has to be a real focus for you to make the people that work for you feel good. Because people work best when they feel good about themselves. When they come into work and they're energized and they're happy, and nobody can ever go into work every day feeling that good. But generally, if they feel really good about themselves, they're going to be really productive. And as an accountant, that's what always is at the back of my mind. There's got to be a good reason for doing this. Not only does it make people feel good, but as an accountant, by training, I want to see the bottom line impact. So what's the point in doing it? So some of the crazy things we do mindfulness. We even do laughter yoga. So every Wednesday morning we'll get together, 10, 15 minutes, everybody comes together, nothing's compulsory, but we spend 15 minutes laughing. How can you feel grumpy? How can you hold grudges? How can you not bond as a team if you spent the last 15 minutes laughing at each other? It really, really works. Trust me, or trust my staff, ask them. We've created a chill out room. I wanted people to get away from the desks. Just have time to themselves. Because if they don't ever get away from the desk. They eat their lunch at the desks. They've got no time to switch off. And the mind is there here thinking about what have I done, what have I not done. Just get away from it. There is no mention of work in that chill out room. We've got a pool table which doubles also as an air hockey table and also a table tennis table. Again, absolutely nothing new. Many, many organisations have got this. But have you ever held a really difficult conversation with a member of your team over a game of pool? You're not sitting confrontationally over a table. It really, really breaks the barriers down. It's a much easier conversation to have. You'll get so much more out of your team by doing these kind of strange things, but they're really effective. We have happiness days. We have a 5-week happiness program. So every day has its own theme. The one there, we dressed up as Mexicans. We've even turned the sales office into a pub where we have pub games. Part of that is we had a Thoughtful Tuesday. So the guys went and organised a collection for the homeless. Nothing new. But you can see there from the smiles on their faces just how engaged they were. And I always say to the guys here at Paycare, these kinds of things are as much a part of your job working for Paycare as processing the 85,000 claims or getting new pieces of business. This is part of working for Paycare. The latest one we've introduced is, and we don't have a lovely looking dog like that working for us, but we have monthly massages. 15 minutes. 15 minutes that give my team time to just switch off and have a nice back, neck massage. The feel-good factor from that is just fantastic. We've introduced volunteering days. So that's 2 of our guys there. They actually clear in some concrete from our amateur football club. We do lots of corporate social responsibility stuff, but to me it's not just about handing over the money to them, it's about really getting engaged with our communities, with the people that we support. And again, that gives our people within Paycare such a fantastic feeling. This is nothing new, again, but recruit for attitude and train for skill. We never recruit on qualifications. If somebody says they've got whatever qualification on their CV, we just take that for granted. But we always, always hire people that will fit into the culture of the business. Because if you don't do that, they become mood hoovers. They will suck up your culture in absolutely no time. So all the good work you've put in there will just suddenly be sucked away by these people that just don't get it. What it means working for Paycare. So to get over that, we don't involve HR when we recruit people. We get the people that the new recruits will be working for to hire them because we trust them. Because these people will be working with the people that they're hired. So they know what kind of person fits into the culture. Obviously there's a danger there that if you've got the wrong people with the wrong attitude recruiting, then you're going to be compounding the problem. But trust your people to recruit the right people within the business. Because skills can always be learned. Attitude is very, very difficult to teach. Set your staff up to succeed. Exploit the strengths, not the weaknesses. Be really aware of what the strengths are. Are they in the right job? Are they struggling with something? And you work with them to try and solve that problem. Sometimes they're just in the wrong job. Work with them to move to something that is more suitable for them. By doing that, you're cutting out a lot of wasted time managing that. but you're making them feel a hell of a lot better as well. This is probably one of the most difficult concepts, I think. But it's about celebrating mistakes. Create a truly no-blame culture that enables people to do the job, to be creative, without fear of failing. I'm sure everybody's heard of Ben and Jerry's. Ben and Jerry's are based down in the southern states of America. And they create all these weird, wonderful, wacky kind of flavours. What happens when one of these weird and wacky flavours fails? Do they blame somebody for creating this? No. They actually bury the flavour. They've got a graveyard. They've got a flavour graveyard. I've been in the southern states of America. They've got all the jazz bands. So they put the flavour on a tray, and they march the flavour with the brass bands in front of them, and they bury the flavour. And they've got this graveyard with all these failed flavours around. So that really says to the people, look, we're going to celebrate it. You didn't create this for the wrong reason. You created it for the right reason. It just didn't work. And how many ideas within your organisations have people thought of and they've just not worked? There's the old phrase in the nothing is ever new. But what about the ideas that were created 20, 30, even 10 years ago that failed, that people created for the right reasons? And they failed for a particular circumstance at the time. Wouldn't it be great if you could go into this graveyard and just see what mistakes were made and why they were made? And if there's something now that you could take out of that, technology changes that could work, how effective would that be for your organisation? And how amazing would it be if your people felt that they could make a mistake? They didn't do it deliberately, but they could make a mistake. They could own up to the mistake and say, yeah, I got it wrong. I didn't mean to get it wrong, but I got it wrong. And how effective would that be for your business, where you didn't have to find that mistake an hour later, 2 hours later, a day later, a week later? What's the cost of trying to put that mistake correct all that time later? So does your culture encourage people to take responsibility for a mistake, knowing they won't be blamed? I touched on this earlier. Look, work, get a life. The world and your job needs you rested, well nourished and well supported. When your people come into work, you want them to work effectively. To do that, they need to take time out of the business. They need to enjoy themselves. They need to have hobbies. They need to spend time with the family. They need to have rest. They need to have sleep. If your people work beyond their hours, just how effectively are they doing so? Do you get me time in your life? Managers, leaders, people in your business. You need me time. It's important. It's not something you should just pay lip service to. Get a life outside of work. The slide there showing Obama with Clinton, and I won't go into the full quote of that, but one of the pieces of advice Obama first asked Bill Clinton when he took office was, one piece of advice, what would you give me? And he said, as president, I just worked too hard. I never, ever stopped working. I worked late into the night. And on reflection, I saw some of the decisions that I made were bad decisions, and that was simply because I worked too hard. I didn't have time for my family. I didn't have enough rest. And we all know what kind of mistakes Mr. Clinton made. But would he have made those mistakes if he was really focusing on work and focusing on things outside of work? So I come back to my confession. I'm an accountant. So some of these things I've been talking about, and they're all great, and not many people will say, well, this isn't a good thing to do. Well, what's in it for me? And I know that will be difficult because some of you guys watching this will say, yeah, we should be doing this, but I've got to sell this idea to my boss. So they're going to want to know what's in it for us. So these are just some of the bottom line impacts we've seen here at Paycare. We've got a net promoter score within our people of 95%. We've not got one detractor in the business. How many detractors do you have in your business? What's the cost of managing that? We've got a customer satisfaction score of 99%. Our customers love dealing with us. We retain them for over 20 years. They love ringing into us. They love talking to this strange black country accent. But they're talking to real people. They're talking to happy people. And that gives us great customer satisfaction. 87% of our claims are paid within 48 hours. That means we're pretty damn efficient at what we do, as well as all these other weird and wacky things around it. We've reduced our recruitment costs. We pay very few recruitment costs now because what we have is people wanting to join Paycare. Because word gets out. Word gets out that we treat our people with respect. We nurture them, we give them opportunity, we make it fun. And it's rewarding working for Paycare. So people come into us and say, have you got a job? Because I want to work at Paycare. I've heard about all these great things you do, and I really want to be part of it. I don't need to employ a recruitment agency to recruit my staff. They're there waiting for us. We've seen a productivity improvement through reduced absenteeism, and we've absorbed additional workload. We've grown the business. We haven't had to recruit additional people because the people within the business will absorb that additional work because they thrive on it. They want to do it. It's really rewarding to them. So that saved us £30,000. We've got a 99% staff attendance figure. We don't have to worry about covering for people. We can plan better with that kind of attendance level. By being more creative and creating the space because of the operational efficiencies that we've made within the business, we've created efficiency savings of over £100,000. How much would you have to invest to give you improvement saving of £100,000? So rather than just buying the newfangled piece of kit, piece of machinery, piece of software, just concentrate on your people. It costs very little and you will see amazing results very quickly. So, what would I say to you? Just say, be brave. Take the leap. Why wouldn't you do it when you can see the fantastic effect it has on your people, the fantastic effect it has on your business, and the fantastic effect it's having on your profitability? So why wouldn't you do it? What's making you afraid to take that leap, what could be into the unknown, when you can see the real amazing benefits of it? As I said earlier, I'm an accountant at heart. That's my training, that's my profession. I'm chief executive now, but at heart, I'm an accountant. So nothing along this journey is original. It's ideas I've taken, but I've been brave. I can see the benefits. I want to treat my people better than a photocopier, better than a press. I want to treat them as people. So they are really, really happy coming to work here at Paycare. They're the real heroes. They're just some of our guys that was on a dragon boat race for a local hospice charity. So I can come up with these ideas and I can lead these people, but they're the real heroes because they buy it, they get into it, they really embrace it. So these are the people that's delivered the results that we can see here at Paycare. So just give it a go, see the results. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. There's so many things that we can all take away from the presentation. I particularly like how trust and empowerment is at the centre of everything that you do at Paycare. So once again, thank you, Kevin, and thank you to all of our listeners. So don't forget, there's still time to get involved in IT Service Week. We always love to see what everyone is doing to celebrate IT Service Week. So tweet us a picture using the hashtag ITSW16. Visit our website also for more information at www.servicedeskinstitute.com. Once again, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.